guys, today I'm giving you part 2 of Gigi Everything. Today I'm going to show you how I utilize crushed Gigi crackers in various meals and in various ways. Let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to show you is Gigi pancakes. They can also be Gigi waffles, but today I want to make pancakes. I'm in the mood for pancakes, so let's get right into that. I have processed my Gigis, made them into flour. You can put this in a food processor or blender, whichever you have. So I'm going to use 1/4 cup, which is about 4 Gigi, so you can count it as 4 Gigi crackers. So I'm going to put this all in a bowl. We're gonna put in several other things. I'm gonna put in 3 egg whites, 1 whole egg, as you can see here. You can see it here. We're going to put in, this is 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Looks like a lot. I'm just gonna sprinkle it in. I'm not gonna put all of it in. Just seems like a bit much. And I'm not a huge cinnamon fan. I'm gonna put a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of cashew milk. Now, normally if you can have dairy, I recommend 1 tablespoon of yogurt, of like Greek fat-free yogurt, you know, to give it like this fluffiness and lightness. Also use your favorite dairy milk, and I'm using my favorite non-dairy milk. There we go. So I'm gonna mix all these up. So my pan has been coated in coconut oil, and I poured a very small sized amount of pancakes in here, like a very small amount of mix, because I want a smaller pancake. And I'm just gonna let it brown on each side. Here's that first one. You can put berries in these, fold berries into this. You can just put it on top, what have you. You can definitely just make these like regular pancakes, but obviously with the benefit of having a ton of fiber. Okay, so here is the finished product. I'm going to take some of my berries and just sprinkle them over the top of here. I like blackberries a lot. I like blueberries probably the most. Just gonna put some up top, put a few raspberries, whatnot. Just throw strawberries. I'm a little bit allergic to, so I can't eat them like I want to. Then I'm gonna take my favorite Choc Zero maple syrup, top the top, and just pour it all over. 1 tablespoon is 15 carbs and 14 grams of fiber. There's 1 net carb in 1 tablespoon of this. It's very high fiber and absolutely delicious with a great consistency. Highly recommend it. Next, I'm about to show you how I do fish. I like to bread my fish, and sometimes I cook it in a skillet, and sometimes I cook it in the oven. So I'm about to show you both. Let's get right into that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take these 1/4 cup of Gigi's, and I'm going to season it with different seasonings to create like a flour mix. Then I'm going to bread this fish, and then I'm going to bake some of it, and I'm going to show you how I also cook some of it, brown it on top of the oven. So we're going to go in first with onion powder, just a little bit of that. No more than probably no more than a tablespoon, but that's probably like 1/2 tablespoon. A little bit of garlic. Then we're gonna go in with a little bit of cayenne pepper, because I love a little heat. Cayenne pepper. We're gonna go in with a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt that I'm actually taking the top off of. Just gonna shake that in. Not too much salt, but a good amount of salt. And then I'm also gonna shake a little bit of this salt onto the fish, and maybe even a little bit in there. It's not very much at all. Then if you have any other favorite seasons, like maybe black pepper is one of your favorites, you can add a little bit of that. If you have, like, I'm gonna add oregano. I've been loving oregano in a lot of things lately, and so I'm gonna just do a little bit of that, just a little smidgikins, and I'm going to shake this up, mix it around with my hands, because this is all for me, guys, and my hands are always clean, just remember that. And I took 1 egg white, but usually try to use like 2. I think this is 1 and 1.5 from when I was making something else, and I only use the yolks. I'm gonna take this fish, dip it in here, right? Take it over here, bread it. And this piece I'm gonna actually use on the stove top to brown it. I'm gonna make it that way. So I'm gonna mix that up, get that all breaded up. Now, if you're just gonna do this in the oven, I recommend that you just dip the top, that part, and then just do this part of the fish, and then you bake that in the oven. And I actually have a baking sheet right here. I'm gonna set that there. So I'm gonna do that to the piece of fish, and I'm gonna show you how that turns out. You can do this with just about any kind of fish. This is a white fish. I've done this with sea bass that was filleted, salmon, and just about any kind of fish that I can get filleted at the store or what have you. I will bread it in GG's. So I'm gonna pop it in the oven. The oven's on 375. Here we are, it's going in. So I've already been heating up this pan. I'm gonna pour in a little avocado oil just to get the bottom of the pan covered up and let that heat. In this heated pan, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of my fish and I'm just gonna go ahead and set it down in there. And it's basically like frying. Now, I do not recommend this on step 1 at all. Tread lightly doing this in step 2. Step 3, definitely you could do it. You know, it's a great way to get that fried fish feel without necessarily using flour and being deep fried. Get to flip the fish after a few minutes. Pro tip, save your GG crackers, guys. That way you can use it for other seafood and it won't go to waste, because sometimes these can be hard to find and they're not necessarily the cheapest thing in the market. So definitely save them, put them back in the container and put them in the cabinet, so when you pull out some shrimp or some more fish or something of that nature that you want to bread, you can. This is what it looks like coming right out the oven. It looks pretty good and delicious. It's healthier because it's not fried in oil, and it is still absolutely delicious. The texture always reminds me of fish sticks for some reason. So yeah, it's absolutely delicious. This is the fried version of it. I love to do this with shrimp. It is one of my favorite things. If you decide to bake it and you want to get it this brown, you can go ahead and spray avocado oil to make this a little bit browner. But if not, you want to brown yours in avocado oil or some type of oil. Avocado oil would be the best in my opinion. Then I would say definitely go ahead and do that. It's amazing on the shrimp. Shrimp is one of my favorites to do this recipe with, and the same seasoning. I'll probably use the leftovers for shrimp next week or something. So yeah, it's amazing. The leftover GG crackers for shrimp. So it's absolutely delicious. I paired mine with kale for lunch today and I'm excited. Okay, so today you got to see me doing GG pancakes, which also can be made into GG waffles. You saw me making fish, which I love to do. I also do that same recipe for shrimp. You can do that same recipe for chicken nuggets by taking the chicken tenders and chopping them up. Which is one of my favorite things to do. I love chicken nuggets. It's such a mood for me. It gives me McDonald's vibes without all of the processed food. But overall, there's a million things you can do with GG's. You can also make muffins. That is something that I think I've done that before. I'm not really in the mood to eat muffins, so I didn't make them today. But you can do a million different things. You can get all kinds of recipe ideas from the ffactor.com website. My website has some up, which will be linked below.
and you can just get them also off of the Gigi Cracker website. So there's so many great things you can do with Gigi's, whether they're processed like the ones today, or whether they're the whole cracker like my last video. But there's a million different things you can do and have fun with. I'm a firm believer that you want to enjoy eating, and sometimes when you're on a diet, that goes out of the window. I think with F Factor, I think even if you're not on F Factor and just want to eat with Gigi's, you can do that. And these are some of the ways I do it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click that button, and don't forget to like this video if you did like it at all. And I'll talk to you guys soon.